A designer spent 3 years trying to sell his work to a single buyer. He returned again and again, more than 150 times. Every visit ended the same way. The buyer looked at the designs and said no. 1 rejection became 10, 10 became 50, 50 became 100. Still nothing changed. Then one day the designer made a single adjustment, and suddenly the buyer started saying yes. The designer hadn't become more talented. His work hadn't dramatically improved overnight. The designs were not radically different. The only thing that changed was who got credit for the idea. Instead of arriving with finished designs and trying to sell them, he brought several unfinished pieces. Then he asked a question. Could you tell me how I should finish these so they would be useful to you? The buyer agreed. He took the designs, studied them, thought about them, then explained exactly what he wanted. The designer made the requested changes and returned. The buyer purchased every design, not because he had been persuaded, because he felt involved. The designs now carried his fingerprints. They felt like his ideas. And people will fight far harder for their own ideas than they ever will for yours. That's the principle hidden inside this story. Most of us approach influence the wrong way. When we're excited about an idea, we present it fully formed. We explain it, defend it, polish it. Then we try to convince people to accept it. But think about how that feels from the other side. Someone places a finished conclusion in front of you and asks you to agree. Even when it's a good idea, part of you resists. Not because the idea is bad, because it belongs to someone else. People want ownership. They want participation. They want to feel that their choices matter. Very few people enjoy being sold. Most people enjoy discovering. The designer learned this lesson the hard way. For years, he pushed what he thought the buyer should want. The moment he stopped pushing and started asking, everything changed. The buyer was no longer being persuaded. He was helping create. And people naturally protect what they help create. They support it, defend it, fund it, promote it, because it now feels personal. Sometimes your job isn't to force an idea into someone's mind. It's simply to plant the seed and let them help it grow. A manager once used this principle with a struggling sales team. Instead of announcing a list of expectations, he asked a question. What do you expect from me as your leader? The team answered. He wrote every response down. Then he asked another question. What should I expect from you? Again, the team answered. Honesty, commitment, effort, teamwork, responsibility. The standards weren't imposed from above. The team created them. And because they created them, they felt responsible for living up to them. Performance improved, morale improved, commitment improved. People rarely argue with conclusions they helped create. Of course, this sounds simple. Let others own the idea. But here's the difficult part. It often means surrendering the credit. A trusted political advisor once became famous for influencing important decisions. His method was unusual. He would casually introduce a thought, then step back. Days later, someone else would repeat the idea as though it had just occurred to them. And he would say nothing, no correction, no claim, no need for recognition. He cared more about the idea being used than about being known as the person who suggested it. That's harder than it sounds. Most people want both influence and credit. But the people who achieve the greatest influence are often willing to sacrifice the second to gain the first. Here's the deeper truth. The most effective way to move people is not to push your ideas onto them. It's to help them discover those ideas for themselves. When people believe something belongs to them, they invest in it, they commit to it, they fight for it. So the next time you have a great idea, resist the urge to plant your flag on it immediately. Instead, ask questions, invite participation, create ownership, plant the seed, then step back. You may discover that people work much harder for an idea they think they thought of themselves.